Right, a quick one, because I do need to go upstairs to have a lie down. Yeah, what kind of day it's been? Oh my god, been a bloody weird one. Well, went to my doctor's appointment at 12 o'clock to get, well, 10 to 12 to get there for 12:15 appointment, only to find out that my appointment was at 10:15. How I got those two confused is beyond me. So I missed it. I was gutted. So that's one about pain and stuff. And I was like, oh no. That's the lid. Have I done all? No, I haven't done all those. Yes, so we booked it Thursday now. 10:30. Just trying to remember it. But yes, so that was that. Then I went and spoke to the pharmacy about the ibuprofen gel that I have and how much I can use, because I've got it on, because I want to be able to use it on several aches and pains. And I was thinking there must be a limit to how much you can use. And I said, well, mainly I'd need it for a bit of my back, my hip, my knee and my ankle. Possibly 2 ankles. And he said, no, that should be fine. Told me exactly how much I needed to use to make it okay. Checked my other medication to check that it was okay to use it, because there are some contraindications. I think that's the word. Yes, but yes. So he said that was fine, and I mentioned about my metformin saying not being very whatever, and he said, oh, he came back and he looked and he said oh yes, we've got it down on your thing, your you know what things you like. So that was good. So they know that I am a bit not fussy, but you could say it's a bit fussy, but it's not. It's part of my autism, I suppose. I have to have certain brands of certain things and certain colours of tablets, otherwise I can go a bit freaked out. And so I said, well, these are the tablets that I've got, pointing to the empty box that I'd taken of my metformin. I should have taken the other box with me, but I didn't, stupidly. And because I thought that it wouldn't change it, because it's been a little while now. And he said, right, he's ordered some of the others. They'll come out to me properly tomorrow, and we'll just do an exchange. So the ones that I had before, so that's really nice. Problem is, it meant tonight I can't have one because I come to the end of my other pack, so I haven't got anything for tonight. Yes, I've got the different flavour variety, but of course that's got to go back, and it can't go back with one missing. So so I just have to not have one tonight and just prepare myself for a bit of an upset tummy and tomorrow. So I definitely say, if in doubt over certain medications or certain things like that, go speak to your pharmacist, because they are more up to date than the doctors, to be honest, because they have to be. They deal with the medicine, so they have to have, they have to know it all. And they're all up to date with local findings and things like that. So definitely work with your GP and your pharmacist. I swear by the pharmacist. They're very good. At any rate, yeah, so I did that. Then I had to go to, I went round to Tesco's because I wanted to see if they've got any of those chicken meals that I like. Nope, it seems like they've stopped doing them. God knows why. probably they'll be bringing them out at a later date in the posher packaging with more money, because I tell you what, they were beautiful and everybody liked them. Because I've you know, I've met several people at the shelf where they usually are, and we're all saying the same thing. It's like, and they stopped doing the mid-art one because there's no label there for at least, you know, little sticker thing. Bloody typical. But well, so did that. Then went round and got some bits from Morrison's. Got the flour, because I've already got some demerara sugar, I think, or soft brown sugar, because I want to make because my daughter sent me some apple sort of puree type thing, you know, like for apple crumble, you know, an apple pie mix. So I'm going to do myself an apple crumble, which will be completely made, because my daughter made the, not jam, but made the mix, the apple mix, and then I'll be making the crumble. I've done that one, and I've done that one. Right, and I've been wrapping up the boxes. The big box for her to send to her, the jars and etc. Weighing it was a pain in the bottom. It wouldn't sit on my little scales, which I use for postage. They're not proper postage scales. Those ones are at my office. I should have picked them up when I went there, because I had to go there and pick up a pack of what was it, Black Butler playing cards, which had sold. So I went there, picked that up, picked up a couple of those you know, bags that I showed you before the other day, like Sainsbury's, those bag for lives, you know, not plastic bags, but the, you know, the thing up. And because they're going to be good for putting books in. And then what else? Then what else? Doctor's missed. Chemist went to. Office. Parcels. Oh my god, this box for my daughter is massive. You know, it's like a large packing box full. And I thought, oh my god, and that's quite heavy. And then of course weighing it was the thing, because I didn't, as I said, I didn't have my proper postal scales, because they were in the office. So then I tried them on my normal scales. Nope, my normal scales were too small. And so then I got my scales down, which I used to weigh myself for the NHS program that I was on. Nope, didn't want to work on that. So then I found my other pair of scales out. Oh my god, that was a pain. Couldn't get it to work. It just wasn't doing it, because you've got to, it has for guests and, you know, and saved things, saved people's weights. So in the end it went as a guest who was 29 and 170 centimeters, and then finally it decided to weigh it. I hope it was right, but it was 5.9 I think kilograms. No, 5.6 kilograms or something double. Anyway, I put it under 6 kilograms. And I did that via Royal Mail, and I was really surprised, because it would go as a medium parcel, which has a weight of up to 30 kilograms, I think. It fitted the dimensions. Yeah, so I did it under 48-hour tracked and compensation, up to 150 quid compensation. And yeah, so that's being picked up tomorrow. So that's rather good. So I did that. Oh, and then I had the dentist, and that was a scream. So I'm actually quite knackered now from doing all this stuff. Yeah, because I had the dentist, and they were going to fill in two little fillings on my where basically the fillings had fallen out at some point. And just as they did it all and I was getting ready to go, I said, oh, better have me, and they handed me me teeth, because I have some teeth on, yeah, dentures or whatever it is. And I went to put them in. I went, so will these fit now though? And I went, yeah, I didn't think about that. Because when I got the dentures made, they were made before I had the fillings done. Realistically, they should have been made after I had the fillings done. And I did mention this to the guy at the beginning who's doing the dentures. And he said, no, it'd be all right. And yeah. So it was really funny because they then had to go in again for my bottom set, grind down some of what they'd put in and done that, because there's a little wire on part of my dentures which have to fit round the tooth that's just been filled, and that one worked okay. And then they handed me the top one. I couldn't get the top one in for love nor money, so they went up, they ground a bit down, tried it again, nope, went back again, ground a bit more down, tried them again, no, we must have done it about 10 times, 10, 11 times. We were just cracking up by the end of it. I was saying, well, I can all stay here, because they said that the guy would be in tomorrow for the dentures. I said, well, I can all stay here, comfy seat, you know, whatever. And we were just joking and having quite a giggle, because every time I said, oh, we're getting there, not quite there. And of course, when I thought it was there and I came out, I thought, it's not quite there. It needs to go down a little bit more. And then when I was eating, I was noticing that it was coming out. My dentures were sort of like dropping down. I was like, oh no, because the top set was made for not having that tooth filled. I suppose I could have got away with not having them filled, but I didn't want them to turn into anything. I mean, both of them had been filled with a filling before, and they both fallen out. So well, if it happens again, then my teeth will fit. Yes, I had that. Oh, and this morning I had 2 phone calls within half an hour of each other, and one was one of these cold callers. 'Tis the season, I think, and they answered and then said, oh yes, congratulations, you have applied and you have got given 10 free what's it called, Euromillions tickets, tickets for tonight. And I went, oh, that's nice. And I said, and they said, right, can I ask you a few questions? First one, I said no, because this is cold calling and I don't really, I haven't done anything like this, so I don't know where the heck you got my details from. Because, oh, well, it's because you signed up to something online. And I said, no, I haven't. And they were adamant. I said, nope, because, it's Scamsville, isn't it? So, yeah. So I hung up on them. And then within, half an hour, another one had phoned up exactly the same. So this time I thought, right, I'll just hear what they have to say. So I waited, went through all the spiel. And then I said, answer yes or no questions. I went, yes. It's ready, right, you ready to answer yes or no questions? I went, no. And then what was it? She said, oh, I've got to ask you to take you through some data protection. I went, oh yes, here we go. I said, no, not doing that. And they said, why? And I said, because you're scamming people. No, we're not. I said, you are. We all know you are. And this is cold calling. And this is the second phone call within half an hour I've had from you lot. And you're still calling me, trying it on. So, no. And then she hung up on me that time. So obviously it was, right, scammers. But because it had been like that, then when I went downtown and I was, everywhere I went, I saw this thing saying, lottery ticket, lottery ticket. And this was after I'd gone through the doctors, gone through the chemist and done quite a lot, and gone and got my pack of cards and stuff, gone into Morrison's and Tesco's, done all that, and it was there in Tesco's and then Morrison's. And then the final store was, I saw in going past the post office, there was a sign in the thing saying, you know, lottery ticket. And I walked on a bit further and I went, no, I'm going to go and get one then. Because, you know, that is definitely somebody saying, you know, go and get a lottery ticket, isn't it? 2 calls. And then, you know, 3 times I go past and I see the lottery, and this was a large, big, you know, poster in the post office's window saying about the lottery, and I went, I got to get it. So I went back to shop with the post office. That was the 3rd shop I'd seen, and I got a lucky dip for St Anthony. Basically, I got him a lucky dip, and him and me for tonight. So yeah. So I listened. I very nearly was going to walk on and say, no, this is daft. But then I remember saying the other day, saying to St Anthony, saying it would be nice, St Anthony, to have a lottery win. And of course, you know, St Anthony finds things for you. So, thought I'd give it a whirl. We'll see what happens. Don't know how much the jackpot is today. Doesn't say. The numbers I like. Oh well. We will see. Thank you, St Anthony. Oh, it'd be amazing if I did win. That'd be incredible. Thank you, St Anthony. I've got your ticket and my yours and my ticket together. We're team. Yeah. Oh, I'm so tired. I am so tired. I want to go and get a cup of tea, get into my bed, or at least on the surface of it, and then, you know, watch some YouTube. Oh well. going to rain when I got out of the dentist. Big black clouds suddenly appeared, and it was like it was in the air, and I thought, going to rain. I think we might have had one little bit of a downpour, and then it went. Yeah, they reckon we're going to be in for an Indian summer next week. I think that's kind of like what happened, something similar to like that last year, didn't it? Yes. Oh shit, where did we go? There we went. Oh no, that's the rubbish one. Oh, I was supposed to phone back my social worker. Definitely do it tomorrow. It's a bit late now. Yeah. So tomorrow I've got my therapy. Oh, and I've got, let me write these down. People I've got to phone back because they phoned me. Phone D, social worker, and James Little push for good. And then therapy at 12 on Teams. Right, got that sorted. Right. Oh dear, I'm so bloody tired. Is that all the use? Two blacks. Oh. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm hoping I've got the right weight on. Mind you, the medium parcel said it was up to 20 kilograms. So either way, it's, you know, we're there, I think. Yeah, she's got her goo jars. I'm sending her some of the lids, even though she said no thanks. I went, I have to suffer, you have to suffer. And I found some twine, 3 balls of twine. You know, like brown jute twine. I thought, well, she's got a garden, she can always make use of that in the garden. So I'll send her that down. I've sent her down some drills in jars, you know, in pots, so she can bling up some of her flower pots. I sent her What else have I sent her? Oh, some little of those beaded angels, you know, keyring type things, which she might want to put on some of her jars for, like, if she's given some away as Christmas gifts or anything like that. She can put those little angels on if she wanted. I'll put in her little hat. The grandkids were trying on what she had. She might even fit into it still. Oh, and the photo that I found, and her discharge sheets from when she had appendicitis. So that might be interesting. She might need some of that information at some point. What else? Oh, I didn't put in her photos. I should have put in her photos in the... Oh, they're on disc. I'll do it next time. That's what it is. The kids leave behind, when they move out, they leave behind all their crap, and you're supposed to keep it for them, even though now they've got houses themselves, and you just sort of think, come on, this isn't my crap. I just want to have my crap around me, thank you very much. I mean, I gave back to Nick all his, I had a carrier bag full of files of his notes for when he was growing up, for, you know, the consultants and all that kind of stuff, and his main report from when he had his autism diagnosis and stuff like that. So I had all that, and I gave it back to him. I said, there you go. And he looked at me and he went, I don't really want it. And I went, well, yeah, but neither do I, mate. Neither do I. I said, you know, might as well go into your hands in case you want to ever, you know, do PIP again. Yeah, I'm not doing PIP again. And I went, oh, fair enough then. But if there's anything else, you know, it's handy to have to, you know. So we'll see. Anyway, he took it. Some of his reports. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've kept a fair few bits of his, you know, like his shopping list that he wrote, and some of his drawings, and some of his birthday cards, and when he was born cards, and when he was in the hospital. And yeah, I've kept, you know, I've kept quite a lot of bits of his photos, and of Sash too. But well, let's have this one. Oh God, I've got to stop yawning. I need to sort my glasses out. Yeah. Oh dear. What's everybody up to? Anything good? They've started their Christmas shopping. Oh, fuck off. I mean, now that I definitely know is cold calling. Because whenever I've had to give out numbers to people I don't want, you know, I've given that number. See, it rings off quickly. It's my backup phone. It's my give that number to you know, cold callers. Sadly, a lot of them have already got my email, not my thingamajig on the list. Oh, that was another thing. This morning Oh my God, the alarm, somebody's house alarm just kept going off. It was on the house on the corner just opposite me. Oh my God, it was infuriating. And one of my other neighbours, she kept popping out saying, I keep thinking it's my car alarm. And I said, well, no, it wasn't this time. I said, there was a car alarm before this at one point, but that was down the other end of the road, in the other direction. And she went, oh, it's annoying, so loud. So I said, well, I'll phone up the 101 number and see if there anybody, you know, I don't know, do a wellness check so they can go and do that. And then I was held in a queue for ages. Then I finally eventually got through to somebody, and they said, no, we don't do that anymore. I said, where do I go then? She said, well, I'll give you, if you give me an email. And I gave her my email. She says, right, that is to send the copy of this, you know, log onto you, show that it's been logged, and with a, you know, a number, a crime number or whatever it was, even though there was no crime, an incident number. And then she I said, well, if you don't do anything anymore, where do I go? And she goes, well, I think your best bet will be the council, you know. And I went, okay. So I thought, bloody hell, what happened to the, you know, the time when the Bobby used to come out and just, you know, yeah, forget about disturbing the peace. Disturbing the peace nowadays means just having a fight. And it'd probably be a specified fight, you know, a fight between, I don't know, 4 people, 2 boys, 1 hedgehog and 1 dog. I don't know. Oh, bloody ridiculous. Yeah. Well, so it's been a very busy day, and I've only got this video done for today. I realised I had to do one, otherwise I'm in the situation I was in the day, oh, I can't even speak, a couple of days ago, where I didn't have a video to go up. But I had the grandkids again yesterday, and that has just really done me in. So that with everything, and from the other day as well, from Sunday. Oh, yesterday he just came in, dropped them off, no message, no nothing, saying can you look after them, I got to go and do blah or whatever. No, nothing like that. Just a turn up at the door and can I leave the kids here for a bit? Well, it's a bit late, isn't it, now? I don't really have a choice. What if I was saying no? And anyway, so which I would have done because I was absolutely knackered. Anyway, then I had to have them, and the girl was being a bit better, but she still wasn't. But the first thing that out of his mouth, out of my son's mouth, after he was dropping them off, was, "Don't pin her down." And I said, "When did I pin her down?" "Yesterday you pinned her down." I said, "No, Nick." I grabbed hold of her hand to stop her from scratching and pinching at people, me included, and I held on to it and I showed her, you know, that apparently is classed as pinning down because it's been lost in translation, you know, because obviously the little one, and Dominic, you know, bless him, was too scared to flipping well say anything. At any rate, but he was agreeing with me when I was there saying, and she said, "Well, either way, don't do it." And I said, "Okay then, what can I do then when she's being like that?" Because they know she's a little basket case. They know she's a little psycho. And they just he said, "Either way, don't do that." I said, "Fair enough, Nick. Whatever, Nick, you know." So, but when in my house, my rules abide, and I wasn't pinning her down. God, if she knew what, if I had been pinning her down, my God. It's quite weird because In fact, it was her that was pinning Dominic down a lot of the time. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, he has to find something. It's like, do you want me to actually look after him? I think I did say that at the time. I said, oh, so you really want me to look after them then? Still, if I'm such a bad person. Didn't mean it like that. I said, well, how did you mean it? You just sort of think, for God's sakes, don't blame everybody else off for your bad parenting, you know, moments. I mean, they're good in so many ways. They do play with the kids and everything else, but it is consistent and it is on his terms when he's in the mood for it. And they're all trying to please him. Of course, I suppose that's where I go wrong. Well, I don't go wrong because I don't try to please him. If he's being a tit, I'll tell him he's being a tit. Problem is, it ends up with me ending not being able to see the grandkids. Yeah. Well, and I mean, as it was yesterday, little Kobe did a poo in his nappy. So we got out his backpack, which they sent him with. Not a nappy in sight. No nappies. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? So at that moment in time, I had found a bit of terry toweling or whatever it was from one of my sewing projects, and I just got that and I wrapped that up. Didn't have one of those nappy pins, did I? So I was using a binder clip and tucking it in so it wasn't hurting. You know, it didn't hurt him because there was a bit of cloth behind it against his skin. And I said, right, we're going to have to go up to what's it called? Up to Sainsbury's. And I said, I'm not getting Pampers though. Can't afford Pampers. You know, no. Because I saw online there was some for £3.82. No, £3.29 I think they were. And there was 30 of them in the 6+ size. And I thought, perfect, we'll get those. Nappy's a nappy. And yeah, usually you find with some of the cheaper nappies is that you end up changing them a little bit more often because they, you know, they don't last as long. But either way, so he turns up flat. Eventually, I phone him up and say, you know, can you come back? Because when are you coming back? Because the kids are and you know, Kobe hasn't got a nappy, and I explained that at that time before I put that other nappy on him. I said, you know, I've got to find a bit of terry toweling or whatever, and he's got that wrapped around him. You know, that's his makeshift nappy, and there was this pause of the, and he was just saying, well, I can't do anything about it now. I said, well, no, I'm not saying you can, because he was up in York, and I said, just so you know, when you come back and you see him with a terry toweling nappy on, you know, or whatever makeshift thing, don't have a go at me. Because I did my best with what I was given. Just thought I'd get that out there. Yeah. And then as it was, he came back and I handed him the pack of nappies. I'd already taken out 10 because I didn't want to have a whole box load, a packet here, you know, because he might grow out of them that quick. So I kept 10. And there was 30 in the pack and he was wearing one, so, you know. And I had them and he was so ungrateful. And I thought, bloody hell. Looked down his nose, cheap nappies. Well, yeah, but, you know, when you haven't got much money, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. You know, as it was, I was behind in Morrison's today. I was behind some girl at the checkout, and she was putting some things through a basket, and she was on her phone basically transferring money from one account to another account to pay for certain bits, and then she ran out and there was just a cucumber and a pack of tomatoes left, and she couldn't get them. And if I had had the money, the cash, I would have bought them, but I was pretty brassic myself at that moment in time. I did feel bad about it, but there's nothing I could do. But I mean, that's what happens, you know, if you haven't got the money, you know, you have to put things back, don't you? Not having got the girl I'm there saying about, like with my son, you know, if he hasn't got the money for certain things, then you know, you have to get the cheapest option. And yes, some of the time it's not, cheapest option is not necessarily the you know, the better option, obviously, but you know, it's better than no option, isn't it? But well, any rate, right, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going up to my bed. I know it's early, but I'm done for. Right, so you've heard enough of me waffling. But at any rate, yes, I will love you all and leave you all, and I will see you in the next one. Try and get some good night's sleep tonight now. Oh, I've got me ibuprofen pain gel upstairs, so that's good. I know what I can take now. So yes, onwards and upwards. So I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Love you all. Big hugs. Squee. Bye bye.